So. Everybody, thank you for coming. Keep Beaufort County beautiful. Thursday, December 11th. Can we get an approval of the agenda?
Move.
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Jean, is Jean on the line as well? There she is. Okay. She's in.
She raised her hand.
Okay.
Aye.
And so we do have 6 people?
All we need is 4.
Only need 4.
Only 4 is good.
I'd like to get an approval of the minutes for October 9th, 2025.
I so move.
Second.
All in favor? Good, thank you, Jean. Nice to see you, Jean. Introductions around the room. We'll start with this young lady right here. Oh, well, hold on a second. In all respect, start with this young lady. Right here.
Alice Howard, Beaufort County Council.
Palacio, Environmental Education Coordinator for Beaufort County.
Pam Floyd, I'm representing District 3.
I'm Chris Campbell. I represent District 1.
Jean's Apple, District 7.
Sergeant Matt Grivetti, Beaufort County Sheriff's Office.
Sally McLeod, Solid Waste and Recycling. And Jean, Dr. Jean's up here, and so is Victoria.
Tori's up there too. Well, welcome. Thank all of you for coming. Subcommittee updates. Education and litter enforcement. Have we got it? Education and litter enforcement?
Committee report. Did you put committee reports in?
I went to the wrong place.
There you are.
I went to the council chamber.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, they're already.
Well, but it's nice to have you.
Yes, how are you guys doing?
Good.
To introduce yourself.
Oh, yes. Jessica Wrights, District 2. Oh. Coming in and being loud. Thank you. Appreciate you.
We can take care of that.
Yeah, we can
afterwards.
take care of it later.
Let's go
All right,
on
keep-
to the subcommittee reports, please.
That's forward.
Share that.
Okay, well, since you're here, education and litter enforcement.
Perfect. Well, I left my folder sitting on the counter at the chambers, but I have a calendar for Q1 for events. And then I believe Jean's got some stickers or some clings, window clings, for restaurants and businesses around Beaufort for recycling and for education on Keep Beaufort County Beautiful.
Yeah, we think we have a nice idea going here with this.
Yeah.
You want to talk about that, Jean, or
You want to talk about it in beautification?
either way?
Yeah, maybe could either way. But for the calendar, I'll send that out to everyone today. I've got it on my computer too. I had a copy for everyone so we could highlight the events.
Good.
That's lay plans, right?
Yeah, that's late plans.
So,
But we'll have a busy year next year. I'm not worried about it. I mean, we got plenty to do. We have a
Yeah.
brand new tent, and that'll be good.
It's beautiful.
It is?
It's gorgeous. It's giant. It's 10 by 10. Has our branding right on the front. The table covers are really nice. You haven't seen them yet?
I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, we've used it. Yeah, we've used them at 2 events.
Ooh,
Yeah.
Yep.
So
great.
I've got pictures. I'll show you.
please remember that if you have an event coming up, just to give me a heads up. I
Yeah.
mean, because I'm getting older and I don't remember everything like I'm supposed to. But I would love to be there,
Yeah, absolutely.
okay?
Calendar that Jessica has, we'll post to the SharePoint site.
Yep.
Where you'll get a copy of it as well, so
Right.
we'll know exactly which ones we want to go to, and then people need to sign up.
Yes,
to
that's
say
right.
they'll help carry the tent, or show up
Yeah.
and just give out whatever, or just
Yeah.
whatever level of participation you want to have.
Yep.
Excellent.
Okay, So we'll stay on that, education and litter enforcement just for a minute. We'll talk about finances later, but we did buy some fans and some straws, so that's one of our 2 expenses for the last 2 months, and then I'll go through the numbers and when we get to the finance committee. I also talked about buying more of the reusable shop. Where does that stand? You 2 guys?
Well, I've sent you all the quote. We're needing to get the requisition. I can't do anything until I've got a requisition from the board, but I've sent you the quote.
Okay, so what is a
Oh,
requisition?
sorry,
The
yeah. I don't
form,
know either.
the requisition form
Oh,
that's
just the
on,
form.
that's on SharePoint.
Okay,
Okay.
yeah.
Physical
do that.
form that we have to fill out is what you're needing.
Okay, we'll do that like
Yeah.
next day or so.
Yep.
Those are one of the best calling cards. Chris and I will talk a little bit about how we used it as a calling card this morning. So that, we gotta have more of those, definitely have to have more of those.
Is that something that we've already approved, or do we? 'Cause
We've already bought them before, and we approved a $16,000.
didn't know if we needed to vote again.
I don't think we need to
So
vote.
it's just the form. That's all we
It's-
need.
It's the form that the committee lead fills out the form, and since I'm the finance committee, I have to sign the form.
Got it.
Maybe we can print one off before we go, and we can do it
That would work.
right
Yeah.
before we leave here today. Is that okay? On education and litter enforcement. Where do you want to talk about recycling? You want to talk about here? Actually, it's probably more in beautification. I don't care, whatever you.
Either way,
Let's do it now.
okay?
So why don't you want to talk about the conversation this
This morning.
morning?
Yes. And it's sort of a little bit like litter. We met today, this morning, with the Beaufort County School District. We were received warmly, would be the proper word. And they're really looking for somebody to push them along. And I sort of began, I've said this before, I began this conversation with a member of their group months ago. But she actually put this together for us today, which was great. At one point, we weren't sure who all should go and this, that, and the other, but as it ended up, Jean and I went over there this morning and sat down with them just to test the waters to see how warm the water was, and it was great. They're interested in doing it. They're interested on the education side and also the facilities side, if that would be the right word. And facilities, Jean sort of likes the education side. I kind of like the facility side because there's just so much waste that comes out. They are huge. And the one, and I'll let Jean speak for a minute, but the one of the biggest things was that they are really interested in being a part or getting to know the county people better and having a better relationship with the county, which was really good. And so we do know that it isn't going to be overnight that this happens, but we've already scheduled the next meeting for January 22nd, and it was a good morning. Would you like to add to that?
Sure. So we met the director of curriculum, and that's Chris saying the education side, and we met the essentially director of facilities, and that's the person that owns all the maintenance contracts, owns the maintenance of all the buildings, is responsible for the trash contracts, et cetera. Had a great conversation about what might the school do better. And there's a lot of things they can do better. They wholeheartedly said, we basically tried it a few years ago, and we haven't really done much since.
Yeah.
And the academic folks were probably the most enthusiastic. They've already been thinking about how do we drive responsibility around curriculum down into high school, middle school, and elementary school, and they've already got people thinking about it. So I think that's going to be great. On the maintenance side, the guy who provides and manages the trash and recycling, et cetera, he's ready to do whatever. And much to our surprise, I think, the single most thing he's interested in is composting. Which was because he's
Coming out of the
responsible.
cafeterias.
He's responsible for the cafeteria indirectly, but he knows composting would be something that the school district is very excited about. So we spent hour and a half, and it was great. We now have a meeting with him being the maintenance side, and the trash and recycling contract side. We have that meeting on the 11th, and Chris and I have talked about it, and we think Valentina, you and Victoria joining that conversation to talk about what's the county doing, how can we help, just basically have that first conversation with them. And they were open to that. We said we'd like to bring the recycling coordinator and the education coordinator, environmental education coordinator, and they were like, absolutely, let's do that. Immediately after that meeting, the same day, the same conference room, a conversation on the academic side. So they're excited about this. I think we've got a great start. It might take a little fits and starts. These things all take time. They're really thinking about what can we do in next school year. So that's next September, next August, next September. They don't want to do anything now, but the academic side is very clear. If we don't budget now, we won't have any money to do anything with in the fall. So they know that they can't wait until the fall to do anything. They got to start it now. So I would say that, over the next couple of months, we kind of pushed to get January meetings. They're busy, but we're like, if we're going to get something done, we got to keep moving. And they were excited about it. So we'll send you the invite and contact, and I think Victoria is on. Yeah, oh, yeah, absolutely, absolutely. We'll tell everybody about that, but we do think that it's still a small group of folks for that January meeting. And I think out of that, we'll have some more specific plans, like what might be together specifically. Today was more of a hi, how are you kind of a conversation, what could be done. And then we made it really clear that the experts are in the county.
Yep.
They have to be in this conversation. It can't just be Chris and I and keep Beaufort County beautiful. They were excited about working with the county on it, which they were a little chagrined that they don't do as much of as they want to, but they were excited about doing it. So I think it was a terrific meeting. It was a great investment of an hour and a half of our time this morning. Really, it was just great.
I agree. It was.
Comments or questions or? Please.
Oh, man.
And, some of them, they'll try and.
Yeah. So we learned that
Is someone speaking?
oh, you got to.
Yes, Ms. Howard is speaking. Hold on.
I just said, having visiting the elementary school a lot, there's a lot of food waste. It's not their fault, but there is, yeah.
So what we learned today, again, very first meeting, we learned today that the school district uses contracts for almost everything. So the cafeterias are run by 2 contractors. The trash and recycling is run by 2 contractors. Maintenance is run by 1 contractor. So in one way that's good, because if the school district says, I want you to do something different, they can do something different, but it's a change to contracts.
Yeah.
So that takes time. But they can make things happen. It's gonna take some time to make those kind of things. But they were much more excited about what can we start and get into the classrooms, and how do we get better education on recycling down into the classrooms, like as soon as possible. So and very
This spring.
excited, very excited. I mean,
Definitely.
it was really enthusiastic, and we oftentimes don't get great meetings. This was a great meeting, so a very enthusiastic meeting. So it was great. So next follow up then is I think it's the 11th.
The 11th?
I think it's the
I was
11th.
for some reason
Valentina.
thinking it was-
Might be the 21st.
I was thinking of something with it.
22nd, and that's
I
what
said
11.
20.
Could be. I'll send you the email.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll send you the email, the invite. We have the invites already, so I'll send them along to
There
you
might be
folks.
a conflict for me. I don't know how that works.
So Chris and I had this conversation about
Yeah.
who should be in that first meeting. One, it
Yeah.
had to be small, right?
Yeah.
And we felt like you being there was not helpful to them or you
Yeah.
because of your contractual
that-
relationship.
Yeah.
So we're gonna keep you kind of arm's length.
But if
from
they
that whole
want,
thing.
if they want someone to come in, not from Keep Beaufort County Beautiful, but someone provider to see what we can actually implement like quickly without changing the contract, I can do that. I just don't know where the conflict, like where that
I
lies.
think the way that happens is the school district
Yeah.
will ask for contractors to come in and have a conversation.
Got it. Okay, cool.
Right,
Yeah.
so the request will come from them,
Okay.
and they're gonna bring their contractors to the table to have that conversation. They'll
Yeah.
probably have a similar conversation with the cafeteria
Got it.
contracts,
Yeah.
right? You know, what are you guys willing to do? What's it gonna cost to do? All those different kinds
Yeah.
of things.
Yeah.
I asked for access to the contracts, and they told me the best way to get them is through FOIA. And I've done FOIAs here for the county before, and it's worked great, so I'll take care of that. It's just easiest for me to do it FOIA so that I don't have to anything backdoor or any of those kind of things. So we'll get access to the contract. It's important because
Yeah.
what they're allowed to do, what they're contracted to do is all very clearly stated in the document. So we'll be able to help manage that process with them. But I see the academic people putting together a budget request sometime in January. That might only be 5K or 10K or whatever, something small, but I think they're anxious to get going on it.
Yep.
So, very fun.
Robert, the facilities contractor, I made the comment that what would be great coming out of this would be that if maybe half the trucks were going to the landfill in a certain amount of years, and he said that would be wonderful. I thought that was a good indication of how they feel about it all.
Do you know if they even recycle cardboard?
I don't think so.
Most schools do not. There's
said-
a handful of schools that do.
Yeah, he said there are 11 schools that have some kind of recycling,
Yeah.
and that's the impression we got, that it's
Yeah.
cardboard, and that's it. He said one of their biggest issues last time around was the neighborhood would use their bins, and they would come and throw their trash into the recycling bins.
Yeah, but there was a solution to that.
Now the solution is everything has video cameras. And they said if we find a problem, we'll address the problem in whatever way we need to address the problem. But the concern about community clogging up and actually bespoiling the loads, he thinks that that's something they're willing to take a look at and to try to address that. It's not gonna stop them from doing something.
There are 0 haulers within Beaufort County or with a commercial truck, like those big dumpsters. They don't stay clean for that reason. People throw trash in there, it doesn't stay clean.
So we're gonna have to do some thinking on our own side about, just to help them. It's their strategy, it's the school's strategy, no question. But, you know, they're not current on cost of recycling, on single stream versus, not current on any of those things.
Yeah.
So I think our discussing it and figuring out how best can we help, I think it would be helpful. Valentina, you and Chris and I and Victoria, and, you know, for this conversation, maybe, Jessica, it makes sense for you to join as well. We should meet before that January meeting so that we are on the same page when we go into that conversation with them. Because might as well talk into a mic, yeah.
We could also maybe even plug in Mike from I2 to just talk about just the commercial recycling. I don't know if they're,
Let's make that a second, make that a second meeting.
yeah.
The
But I
thing
mean,
that
just
think-
internally, like the
Oh,
prior,
internally, yeah.
the prior meeting.
yeah.
I mean, just
Yep.
so we could have some information for
Yep.
them. This is what it looks like. Or Victoria might even have it just on how it looks like for us as the county, but I don't know, just a thought.
I mentioned Mike to them, and just to say that, you know, he would be one of the more knowledgeable people that we have, and you are too. but-
Yeah, I met with Mike a few weeks ago, actually. We had lunch. And one of the things we talked about, we need to get all of the haulers on the same page as far as what does recycling look like. Everyone should have the same list and the same standard. And that way, we do go into these schools and we're educating. I mean, everyone has different trash companies, different rules. We've got to get everybody on the same page. That was like one of the main things we talked about.
So I hear over and over again
Yeah.
from residents.
Yeah.
We don't
Nobody
It's a
knows.
lot of frustration,
There's,
yeah.
it's not standard. Yeah.
So we'll distribute the email invite for the 21st, 22nd, whatever that is. And then we'll try to set something up a week or two before that,
Yes,
so that we can kind of figure out what our story is when we go back in.
kind of like we did last time. Remember, we all sat down last time and had a little meeting about what we were going to say to them.
It's funny, when, at the last meeting, we said, okay, composting would be great at some point, but
Yeah.
let's keep it at the facilities, cardboard, glass, metal, et cetera. He went right to composting. That's what he wants to talk about. I'm like, cool.
Yeah.
County's all excited about it. They're starting programs, so we're off
You
and
may
running.
not need any customers.
You get them, that's a big customer.
That's a big customer.
32 restaurants they run.
36 schools.
36 schools and 32 restaurants, so a couple of them must not have a,
Yeah,
Anyways.
yeah.
and he's responsible for trash and recycling from the restaurants. In other words, it's not part of their contract. That's his job to coordinate bins and all that kind of stuff. So, interesting. I think I think this is a very fruitful initiative for us to take on.
And we
going
probably
next
should
year.
have asked Mike to come to that meeting,
The preliminary meeting.
preliminary meeting, and Jessica.
Okay.
Because you're a contractor, we didn't want to go in
No,
showing that.
I don't want it to be a conflict.
You know,
I don't want it to be a conflict.
you understand, and Jean
absolutely.
brought that up, and I agreed.
Yeah.
Of course, I'm going, yeah, no, let's take
Yeah.
her. But, no.
Yeah, 100%. Whatever.
But
Yeah.
we're glad to have you, don't
Yeah,
misunderstand.
I'm here. I'm
Yeah.
here. Whatever you need me.
I have another topic related to litter. Are we okay with the school conversation? Anybody need more discussion on that?
I have a few comments.
Please.
Jessica, you mentioned getting together with haulers. Did you receive the hauler roundtable meeting that Solid Waste and Recycling Board in Beaufort County?
I did not. Oh, sorry.
A save the date was sent out to
I-
all haulers, so I'll make certain that
didn't
you
see
get
it.
another copy.
Please, I appreciate it. Yeah, I didn't see it. I'm sorry. I appreciate it.
Related to that?
Absolutely.
Okay, cool.
And then, Jean, if you could send me the meeting invite with details, with the school district as to who is attending, I will need to run that by Mr. Harriet. Beaufort County does have, some protocols as far as reaching out to people, outside of the county, so I just wanna make sure that we are following all those protocols. And I run it by Mr. Harriet prior to inviting any more Beaufort County folks. But it is amazing news. With the USDA grant, we do have funding to initiate the composting program in schools. So they may not even need to start budgeting because we already have those funds with the grant. So it's really exciting, exciting news. So definitely please get me that invite as quick as you can. My calendar typically fills up pretty quickly.
I'll do it today after I leave the meeting here. We're starting to learn the organization and how it's structured. The composting is the cafeterias, and that's what this guy cares about. The academics is the director of academics, Mary, and I can't remember Mary's last name. I'm sure she's a doctor of something, education probably. So it really turned into two separate conversations in one meeting that we're now going to separate into two meetings next to each other as we go forward.
We're not all going to meet again, we're going to meet separately with both.
We're going to
those
meet
two.
separately,
Yeah.
but everybody will be there, I bet.
Yeah, everybody will be
Yeah,
there.
everybody will stay. So it was a great meeting, and yeah, I'll send those invites out as soon as I leave the meeting here today. Okay, so next topic for me, Jean, I know you're not physically here. Anything that you want to add right now?
Well, I was just gonna comment on the educational half, or perhaps even inquire, K through 12, what are you proposing?
So we're not actually, we're not going to propose anything, I think. It's the gentleman Philippe De Silva, I think was his last name. Yep. He's got in his head who's going to drive the academic side, which will engage the school teachers and the children at each of these three levels. So, we're not going to provide educational materials. We're not going to do a strategy. We're not going to do any of those things unless he asks us for help. I would see, Valentina, since you do so much education, that connection would be helpful to him, I think. But they've got in their head what they basically want to do, and we're just going to help them flesh it out next month. But he's driving that train. There's no question.
You're talking about recycling, food waste, I mean, what would be
He's really talking about recycling. He's not talking about food waste. In their heads, and contractually, they separate academics from the cafeteria,
Yeah,
right? So the cafeteria is run by a contractor. Academics is obviously run by professional teachers. And they're
Right.
two different worlds. They kind of come together at the maintenance guy who is responsible for creating and providing the bins. And then what's his strategy? Do we provide multi-stream bins? Do we provide a single stream bin? Do we provide all those kind of, that's what he's got to figure out. And he's got the contract to be able to do that. But he needs to have the academic folks figure out what they want. Evidently, interesting, we learned, they have piles, stacks of recycling containers in their warehouse. They're the old green boxes that we all saw in offices. They've got stacks of them. The problem was nobody was using them, and nobody was picking them up, and they didn't have the ability to recycle with them. So that's what the academic people are like, ooh, if we can get that, we can create a program with the children to be able to say, every Friday, we're going to do this. We're going to measure it. We're going to count it, whatever they do.
All in the science department.
All to the science department, right? So they kind of have what they want. And now we know they have containers. I think the academic folks are probably more mature. But when they start saying, well, we want separate disposal containers, that's when the facilities people have to be part of that conversation. I think the academics people will lay their plan first, if I'm being honest. I think that's the way it'll turn out.
so I would then kind of pursue, the reason why we were able to build the Kids in Kayaks program is because we pulled off of the South Carolina State educational objectives.
Yep.
They were already there. And so what we did was we built a field experience and an experience around them. So I would assume that in this case, they're looking deep into learning objectives throughout K through 12, and they're looking for, particularly within the sciences, things that relate to, pollution.
Yep.
Reduction of pollution, because I think going that route is going to be a lot more successful than trying to introduce new curriculum, no matter who does it, because the teachers simply see that as something else.
Yeah, he was clear. He was clear to say that it's called, I believe the right words are human impact on the environment.
Yeah,
That's
terrific.
those are
So
the
that's
words.
great.
Yeah.
Yep.
And he said, they used the state curriculum.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's terrific.
yeah.
I mean, that is the key to success, because it's already built in.
Yeah, and now it's just executing on it. Yep.
Yeah, and also measuring, and they seem to have that thought process. But that was really kind of an early success story for us, is that, really kind of we're just doing a different way of presenting the material.
Yep.
And assessing how well that has gone by surveys and tests and things like that. So for sure, yeah.
Excellent.
Yep, that sounds great.
Okay, great. Thank you. Chris.
Dr. Jean, we would like, you're sending her a copy of this invitation to this meeting. I think your voice there would be well accepted.
What day is it?
We'll send it out, and if you can make it, great. If you can't, then
Right.
It's in,
Well,
it's in
January.
January. You're saying
it's in
January?
Yeah, it's January.
I think it's the 22nd.
Yeah, we
at,
put for a January because we want momentum to
at 11
continue.
o'clock in the morning, I think
Yeah.
it was.
Okay.
All right, I'll forward it certainly.
11 to 1 is the,
Thank you.
You have
Okay.
you have your board meeting at 1 on that day as well, don't you?
It wasn't in the
Don't you?
calendar. Not in January. It's in February.
Oh, you're right, you're right.
Yeah.
Excuse
Every
me.
other month,
So-
yeah.
so I'm going to move to the next, another topic. I'm going to keep this short because it was unsuccessful. Had a conversation with TJ Jett. He wanted to do some deep data collection for litter cleanup on Hilton Head Beach. And we had bantered around the idea of using USCB students. And that took me down a path of talking with Gene, talking with the South Carolina Aquarium, which created the litter journal. And they've got lots of data, they got lots of tools. Um, because COVID kind of slowed everybody down, the data collection really stalled pretty substantially. Gene tells us now it's back up and we're all data collecting, and anything we have to do with litter, we should kind of push toward using the litter journal. And TJ Jett and Hilton Head is okay. He said, okay, fine. Then as long as we are collecting the detailed data, not just how many pounds, but what are we picking up? And Dr. Jean confirms, and the state confirms in in Charleston, they confirm that's exactly the data that we need. They have an application. It's a mobile app. It's a paper spreadsheet. They know how to do it. So that idea that I floated a couple months ago, it didn't work, and that's good. The problem is already being addressed. All right. I just want to close the loop on that.
And that data works. Plastic balloons, right?
Plastic balloons, it helps. And
You know,
actually,
if you start counting them, you have data, right?
yep,
So again, single-use plastic bag. If you count it and you have the data, that's a good thing to walk into any meeting with. So
absolutely. Okay. Anything else on education and litter enforcement?
That should do it.
Okay. Legislation? Do you want to do the story of yesterday's meeting, or do you want me to do it? Why don't you start and I'll add color?
Well, we were invited to be, and we are members of the board of the committee for the plastic, banning the plastic straws and the styrofoam and all those other things. And we had a meeting yesterday, which I got to tell you, little Juliana does a fabulous job. But anyway, we've moved along with that. We're sort of in the second or third phase. We're working on the ordinance, rewriting the ordinance, where we desperately need Brenda, because she wrote the first one. I remember well, and she did a great job. But Brenda will be back, and we'll let her help us with that. What do you want to add to it?
I'll add a little color and try not to talk too long. Juliana has briefed, I'm going to say 10 organizations now, whether it's the municipalities, Soloco.
Right. Mhm.
She went to, what's the big
Sun City.
Sun City? So she's done a lot.
She's been Hilton Head,
Yeah,
Bluffton,
and
Port Royal, Beaufort.
I haven't seen the
Beaufort.
briefing yet.
Yeah.
It's an outstanding briefing. She does a magnificent job of doing it. It's on the county website. A video of her doing it is on the county website. I have a hard copy or a copy on my computer. That phase of Juliana communicating the results of the study and the plans to go forward is over. However, she's been asked to brief Jasper County, Yemassee, and Hardyville. She asked for help, and Chris and I raised our hands. So Chris and I are going to go brief those three municipalities. They're kind of outside Beaufort County, so she's like, I could use help, and somebody else doing it would be fine. So we're going to do that. I don't know when, over the next 6 weeks or whatever.
Yeah.
But like Chris said, we've now moved into the draft of legislation phase. I think we're going to push hard to get a solid draft in January, get it through Beaufort County Legal in January, and then try to get it on the agenda for the March Natural Resources Committee presentation. And then probably if it's successful there, tweak it as need be, and then maybe the county council of the month. Yes, so once we get the draft done,
right, we're gonna pass it out.
after it goes through legal.
Yeah.
It'll go through legal, so we use all the right words. Then it'll go to all the municipalities, and it'll stay on the staff side. We won't go with political side. And the thinking was, this is a technical conversation with staff members of the different municipalities. And then get everybody's comments, and then produce the document, and then present it to the NRC, and then present it to the voting this fiscal year. I think was our agreed target. By June, we want to vote on it. That's the target. Whether we can get there or not, I don't know, but that's the target. But again, outstanding conversation yesterday. Is anything want to add color, or Alice want to add any color?
I think you did a great job.
Okay, good. Okay, any questions?
And thank you, Councilman, for being with us all the time. Adam Councilman. It is a great group. You know, it's got planning department, it's got, you know, all these departments and all these people from all around. Yeah, no, I'm telling you, it's exciting.
Okay, anything else on legislative we need to talk about?
I think that's it.
Okay, so beautification. Pam, you and Chris want to talk about
Well,
plantings?
I'll talk about it because we were planning on doing the bulb planting out at Gardens Corner. This is a true story. I'm laying in bed at 2 o'clock in the morning, and we had this perfect place to plant them. Everything was perfect, and I met out there with Leah and her boss, who I forget what his name was, nice young man who owns the landscape company, and everything was fine. And then I realized there's a chance that the deer will come out and wipe this whole thing out overnight. And so I got up the next day and tried to call Pam a few times. We decided that we're going to move that first planting of all those bulbs down to the intersection of 278. What's
And
the
170.
170?
We were already gonna do a planting there on one of the sides, and we're looking at potentially doing a planting on one side and a planting on the other, so we'll have kind of balancing plantings and put all the bulbs there.
You look at it from a Google
Yeah,
view,
you can see.
you can see that there's lots of highways that deer are unlikely to cross. So it should be much more protected.
We're hoping.
And Leah's going to do a little plan for there because we'll have to get approvals as always. The DOT and the county, make sure everybody's happy. And but the thought of spending all that money and spending all that time and waking up the next day and all the plants are gone would have been a little. It'd have been a little embarrassing for Keep New County Beautiful. We were going to move it down, but that wasn't going to happen. Okay.
So what we have talked about doing was we have two budget entries that we as a board have approved. We have one $3,000 allocation to Gardens Corner intersection improvements, which was going to be the bulbs. And then $5,300 already allocated to wildflower plantings at two locations. So our interpretation of wildflower is plantings. It isn't necessarily wildflower. So I think what would make sense, you guys can tell me what your thoughts are, that we collapse them into one. And then we just agree, we can vote to move it all into one line. So the confusion over Gardens Corner and not planting at Gardens Corner, we lose that. We eliminate that confusion. Is there any thoughts on that?
I agree.
It's purely budget. We're not
Yeah,
giving.
we can address other parts of Gardens Corner at another date, another year.
Okay, so you want to,
So move that we collapse it all into one line item.
I second. All in
favor?
Yep.
All right.
Okay, Sally, of course, has the minutes and everything, but I will collapse them on the spreadsheet and I will publish it back to the SharePoint site.
Good.
Other beautification items, I have one, but
Go ahead.
so I have a update on the 278 sign. I think if you had a chance to see the document I sent out, it was both the presentation that we made to the that we submitted for presentation at the next NRC meeting. That presentation has been sent out. I would like to go to one slide if you could. Could you go down to the slide that has the three options? We've talked about all the details already, so this is the slide. The colors are not rendering correctly here. The copper is actually a navy blue, but that's basically what the sign will look like. We've got better pictures than this, but basically it's like a cabinet.
Mm-hmm.
It's a 2 sheets of aluminum with a sheet of plastic between the aluminum sheets. It's all glued together, and it's like super weather resistant. and it'll be a cabinet. The graphic image that you see is not going to be behind glass. It'll just be a graphic image printed on aluminum. So the image in the RFP that I let is will be warranted for 5 years, and the physical cabinet will be warranted for 10 years. So we should not have to touch this. And these signs are starting to pop up now. The material is starting to pop up. That aluminum, it's super durable and it's pretty cheap. I sent the RFP out, I'm going to say 12 days ago, to 8 vendors. Could you scroll down to the attachment with the all right. There's about 15 sign vendors in the county. There are 4, I chose 4 south of the Broad and 4 north of the Broad. And I sent the RFP to 8. Talked to every one of them now. I have 1 bid in hand. The original due date for the bid was last Friday. I extended a week. It's now due tomorrow. So I have 1 bid in
I
hand.
saw the date was last week. And I'm
Yep,
like,
yep. I extended it to everybody. Yeah, I'm not telling everybody the details all the time because there's too many details. But they're all due tomorrow. I'm quite confident we'll get 3 bids. I'm quite confident, and we may get 5. I don't think we're going to get 8. Some sign companies like this or work with this material, and some don't. So and I can't tell. So I picked 8. I'm pretty confident that we'll get them. And the first one I got is within budget.
Yeah.
Big deal. If it was 3 times the budget, that would have been a real problem, right? That would have been a real problem. So anyway, the RFPs are coming in. I hope they come in tomorrow. We needed the RFPs to be part of the conversation with the NRC. Okay, we had to have them in hand.
PFC.
What peer?
PFC.
Oh, sorry, you're right. PFC, Public Building. No,
Public
Public Facilities
Committee.
Public Facilities Committee.
Public Facilities Committee. I thought building was in there somewhere. Okay, good. PFC. Once the RFQs, the proposals come in, since it will be a county procurement, I'll share them with Victoria and Sally, of course, and anybody. We don't want to share this as public information because this is competitive information. You don't put this on a public website. But clearly Victoria has to orchestrate the actual procurement. Should have enough offers from which we can pick which one we like the best.
Right. Good job.
Okay. So the next event then is the RFQs tomorrow. The presentation to the Public Facilities Committee is next month, the 19th, I think it is. January 19th, I think it is on the calendar. Yep. I have spoken to 6 different county council members. Everybody's supportive of the idea, but I've not shared the picture with any of them. See the pictures for the first time, except for Alice, who'll see it here. The first time they see it will be in that meeting. Again, we want the council to pick the final design.
So can you go back to the signs?
Mm-hmm.
May I speak? Can you hear me?
Yep.
So, Jean, I just want to let you know, per procurement standards, since you did reach out to 8 vendors and you followed up and extended your original due date, if you only receive that 1 proposal back, that's fine. We'll just need that confirmation and email chains so we can confirm with procurement that you did do your due diligence in getting the desired quotes for the project. So that will not hinder us at all if you do just get that 1 price.
Hallelujah.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's great. I do think, I've now spoken to all of the vendors and several of them are genuinely interested and excited. They really want to bid and I think they will, but I appreciate that, Victoria. And I have scrupulous email tracking and I've courtesy Chris on everything. So Chris and I both have all the documents And we can certainly package all those, that email thread up and make sure you guys get it.
I did have a question. You said it's a box. The rectangle on the bottom, is that going to be solid going down? What is that?
So I think a better way to think about it than a box, and I said box, but think of it as a picture frame.
Right.
So it's like a box picture frame in which the picture is put into it. So this is pretty good representation. The box below it, the stand, is the same material, the same color as the wrapping material. We can change that if we want. Nobody cares what color it is. We picked blue. I'm hoping the council says, okay, blue's good, but I don't, if they want pink, we can use pink. That's not a problem. You can't change the material because now you're talking about different designs, right? But the colors are completely separate. But essentially, could you go to the next slide, please? One more. One more. That one. Essentially, what happens is these breakaway posts get mounted in concrete. And then just a couple of inches above the ground, these breakaway devices are installed. And then the box of the platform, the frame, you have a picture frame, then you got a platform, it slides over those posts, so you don't see the posts. The posts are
It's going to be solid. It's not going to be like two posts.
It's not, you will not see the posts.
Which I
Right.
like.
Right, that
that's
little,
fine.
that platform slides right over the outside of the two posts. So it's clean. There's not big posts sitting on the sides. We were thinking it's a little more modern that way rather than the old colonial posts, right? We just wanted a little bit more modern. And this installation complies with the SCDOT guidelines. Funny, SCDOT doesn't actually certify a device. So we have to go to the federal regulations to do that. And so that's part of the conversation that we'll have to have with SCDOT when we get to submitting. So I'm going to stop talking now in a minute. The RFPs responses come in tomorrow. We present to the facilities folks, the facilities committee. Then we go to the council. Once council approves, we submit the design and the approved graphic to SCDOT. SCDOT says 2 weeks, goes to Charleston. We've been talking to SCDOT, so we think we're doing everything appropriately. Leah and her architecture firm have already done the layout. That's part of the package that goes in. Beaufort County Public Works submits the encroachment permit to SCDOT. SCDOT blesses it or says, fix this. Based on that, we make a procurement award. We make a decide on a contractor, and then we authorize the construction. The construction, not even a week. They're very quick. We have to have all of our graphics done and given to them. You know, once we make the award, we'll send them the graphic files and the logos and all that kind of stuff. But the target is still, let's finish it before the end of the fiscal year. And we've got 2 months of flexibility in there. Hoping we can get it done this fiscal year.
Well, good job on that. I know it's endless.
It's been a year. I'm
Yeah,
honestly,
no.
last summer, last December, we had this initial conversation. It's been a year. So a year and a half to get it, if we get it done. Bradley was excited about doing this potentially at all the entrance points to the county. Said, great, let's do this one. Once we get this one done, the other ones will knock off. Be much easier.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good job.
That's my update. The beautification updates?
I think that's everything. Can you think of anything? Finance?
Yes. On finance, the two things, do you have? No, this is fine. This is fine. We have spent $2,613 since July 1st. We've spent $1,200 on the architecture support, which is Leah and her company, and $1,400 on outreach materials, marketing, education, and outreach. That's what we spent so far. What you see in front of us is the current allocation. We just agreed to basically zero out the top line and move it to the second line. I have now added on the most current version of this document, the spend I just talked about, the $1,200 and the $1,413. And from a finance perspective, we have to spend the money.
We do.
So you guys on the beautification, trying to get this plantings done,
Working on it.
and also the bulbs are gonna rot at some point, so you gotta get them in the ground at some point. And then, we have to, the sign is a big chunk of the dollars.
Is it possible to do more than one sign if we need to spend some money? I mean, you,
I think it's possible.
Okay.
I think it's possible, because the sign, once we figure out the sign design, every other sign will be smaller, right? Because this is the only 6-lane highway that we're gonna put a sign on. 278 is a 6-lane highway. Every other sign is gonna be smaller, so it should be less expensive. And with luck, we can do it for within the procurement rules, so we don't have to go out through a whole nother RFP process.
Okay. Good.
But hopefully we can do that. I did have to, I wanted to go back, I apologize, back to the conversation on the legislation committee. One of the things that I had created and Chris and I had kind of worked through was we'd like to propose Keep Beaufort County Beautiful, create a window decal and a sticker, which basically says, I can't show you a picture, but it basically says, we support single-use plastic reduction in Beaufort County. We don't use extruded polystyrene styrofoam.
We found that yesterday.
We don't use that. You have to ask for straws, you have to ask for utensils, and we don't, what's the third one? Oh, no single-use plastic bag.
Yeah.
Okay, and it's gonna be a little, we've all seen the inspection certificate when you go into a restaurant, ABC. It's gonna be the same size, kind of right next to it, and then another one on the cash register for takeout restaurants. That's the concept. And we'd like to use KBCB money to do that. We're thinking $3,000 or something like that. We don't have the legislation yet, so we're not ready to say, here's the final design. Will you guys authorize that? But it's just going to be one more piece of collateral that we buy through the.
That's good.
And we've
That's
been
good.
giving them to restaurants and locations that support that. We want them, is it the county that's trying to come up with a green business program? And this would be kind of part of that, where they would be able to display this in their window at their restaurant or at the wherever, or at the cash register, so that they are indicating that they're part of that program. And these are the things that they support, because this is before we actually get the official plastics ordinance
That could be a while.
Finalized and hopefully passed.
So we'd kind of like to accomplish that. We'd also like to educate consumers that when they go into a restaurant and see this, they realize they will have to ask for straws, right? And that's and same with plastic utensils. They'll have to ask for those things. And this can be part of that. And I very selfishly, I want to see Keep Beaufort County Beautiful in a lot more places than it is today. And if we can get in front at restaurants, wherever we can get, I think we can have a good impact.
Single restaurant that isn't on board with this, it saves some money too. I mean,
Do we need a motion to use money for that, or to move it to a different location? or what?
So we agreed that we would have the board agree what we buy. We've already allocated funds, so we don't have to authorize funds. That's already been done. We've empowered Jessica to make those decisions. But Jessica and myself and Chris, we all want everyone to feel like everybody's making decisions. Once we get a design, so maybe I would say probably 2 months from now, if we get it before then, but once we get a design, and then we'll share it with people and get people's comments. You don't like pink, whatever it is.
Yeah, we have a nice design now, but
This is being on a PowerPoint.
it looks really
Yeah.
good.
Yes,
It's being a
yes.
PowerPoint, so
Well,
we can do better.
Our designer,
Great.
Yeah, my wife commented on it, which usually helps things. But we can certainly do better, but yeah, okay.
I don't think we need to do better. I think it's pretty good. We might be able to tweak it.
Valentina had a great idea for the,
Good.
Valentina had a little tweak.
But we won't
I love
leave
it.
her.
It is not my business. This is- it is-
We will
yours-
not leave
yours.
her out.
See, you have like the logo, so it looks like little.
Yeah,
But it's,
yeah.
but I think it's solid.
Okay. All right, so we should keep moving.
Yeah, let's move on.
New business.
New business, staff updates. How we get, what do we got going?
Victoria, can you speak on that?
Can you pull up the newsletter?
Sure will.
So for the sake of time, it looks like it being transposed looks like something got a little messed up. But for the sake of time, I won't reiterate everything Jean just said about finances. We did want to give the litter crew praise. There was a road out in St. Helena, and we got a call in about it being strewn with litter, and our team responded. The Beaufort County Litter Team. This is a picture of the Adopt a Highway, one of the Adopt a Highway groups. If you could go back up. But anyway, Jesus could maybe speak on it more, but there was a woman and her husband was in the later stages of his life and dealing with Parkinson's, and our litter crew was able to get out there and clean up their street, and it really brought him a lot of happiness in his final days. So that was a really nice, heartfelt thing that we kind of did and went out and talked to those people. And then, of course, you can read the rest of our update. I don't want to reiterate more of what I've already discussed, but our compost pilot program is a bit behind. We did energize the unit today, I was told during the meeting, so that's exciting. And we're working with businesses in the area already to hopefully get their food waste. Some are apprehensive because of their permits through the health department and state levels. So we're just kind of working through those kinks, but we're excited that that program will be starting soon. If you could go back up to the newsletter, please. Sally finalized our Palmetto Pride grant. We submitted that final report and the application for the 2026 grant. They received that, but we don't have any news yet if we received any of the funds. And I believe that's, in a nutshell, all we have to report at the moment. But again, I just want to say very exciting for the Beaufort County School District meeting. I think that it's going to be a really great partnership. And once they realize that we actually have funds to help them compost and can assist them in getting funds to recycle, I think they'll even be even more energetic to participate with Beaufort County in those initiatives. So, any questions on any of the newsletter information?
I have a quick question on the Palmetto Pride grant. I believe in that grant is contribution KBCB needs to make to KAB National. Should we be prepared to fund that out of our funds if get the grant?
Say it again.
We.
I can't. A little closer to the
Sorry,
mic.
My fault. We, as the Beaufort County affiliate for Keep America Beautiful, have to pay, I don't know, $700,
Yeah,
whatever that fee is.
I believe that's allotted already in the budget each year.
So it's not part of our 50K.
It is. In your 50K, we've allotted it.
Okay, so if you look at our spreadsheet, we don't have that identified as an item. I am happy to do that, and that is not an issue. I just want to make sure that if we have to spend it out of this bucket of 50K, we know that. Is that how
Yes.
it works?
Yeah,
Okay. All right.
absolutely.
So we'll take it out of the
We-
education and outreach budget. Okay,
Okay, and we'll let you know when those dues are
sure.
due, and we
Yep.
take them out of your account.
Yep, that's not a problem at all. It's just good for us to know where they're going to come from. That's all. Okay.
Okay.
That's
Great,
good.
thank you. Thank you.
That's all out of me. Any of staff in the room have any updates that they'd like to provide? Go ahead and do that now.
I just wanted to add about how I'm gonna start intro meetings for Earth Day for April, and in search of help input, really want to start have to start getting stuff off the ground for that. So I would love to have at least one representative from KBCB to be part of the meetings regularly, and that way we can kind of have more integration for this coming year. And I know we have Beaufort County government very excited from last year, so it's really awesome to. I'm excited to step back into this next Earth Day for Beaufort County. So yeah, will be on the radar. Let me know who wants to be involved. I'll start including in meetings, and obviously at these meetings we'll be giving general updates on the planning and stages of that.
I'm sure that many of us on the board would be more than happy to be at those meetings with you. Okay?
Pam and I would both definitely go,
Yeah.
and, you know, I'm sure Chris would if, you
Yep.
know, as available, but
Yeah.
yeah. If you just invite the board, then.
Yeah, just invite the board. And thank you for that. Last year was cool. I mean, they did.
It was really fun.
Yeah, it was fun.
You,
We want to just make it bigger and better.
Valentina, you said last year that you were gonna try to get legal to allow to use regular citizens. Is that gonna happen in 26?
So we kind of did a preliminary overarching meeting internally with staff, and just talking about it. It would be we would have to have a whole separate event because of during the week is the only time that we could do it with staff and government, and asking people to come on the weekends wouldn't be as we probably wouldn't see as many people turn out. So we were kind of exploring the idea of a dual event. So still having just the internal Beaufort County staff, and then the Adopt a Highway groups and local partners that organize their own kind of mini pickups themselves. But then also trying to maybe collaborate with another local organization for the second part of the event, where it's Beaufort County residents that could participate in it. Yeah, we're discussing that, but I don't think it could be a dual or like a combined sort of situation, just because of logistical timing and all that. I don't know. It's kind of the thought process of that. I don't know if anybody has any
I
comments.
would
or-
understand that. I mean, it's a lot, could be a lot of people, and you know, it's nice now the way it is. You know. Good work, young lady.
Jesus?
I don't have anything at the moment, but thank you for having me.
Thank you.
You do. We know you're wearing several hats right now.
You wanna do the
Yeah,
conference?
the Keep America Beautiful National Conference is coming up. It's going to be February 26th through the 28th. We need to get in if we're going to go. Jean and I and Beth went last year. It's fun, but this one's going to be in New Orleans, so it's going to really be fun. Mardi Gras.
Today.
Yeah, you got to decide pretty
If you can
quickly.
go, I won't go. I loved it last year. It was great. It was in DC. I enjoyed it, but I've done it. If somebody else wants to go, please go. We have to go as an affiliate. This is one of the conferences we are expected to be at. So if Pam, you're interested, then go. If not, then Chris. and I
Are
can
any
cover-
of the could we take employees? I mean, the Beaufort County, if anybody wanted to go, I mean,
I don't know that we could pay for them. Oh, no, I don't know how that would work.
Is there a max amount of us that can go? Is that the deal? Oh, why would you not go? Sorry, I just want to
So,
make sure.
well, we want to be, when we had the conversation about funding conference attendance,
Yeah.
we get 50K. You don't want to spend 30K at going to conferences. So that was the thinking.
right.
But the way that I initially proposed the budget was that we would have 5 people go to one conference. It could be one person going to 5 conferences. It doesn't matter. We want to make sure we had a budget line for it.
Yeah.
So we could have more than 2 people go, no question about it. And if 6 people wanted to go, we have the money, we have the author, we have everything we can go. We just need to know soon because the
Yeah.
tickets are now for sale. You're not going to get a hotel room, all those things. So we kind of have to know if we're going
How much money is budgeted per person to
So,
be able to
to go
go?
to DC. We budgeted $2,000 a person. When we went to DC, it was about 2,100 or something. New Orleans is typically cheaper, so 2,000 we thought was a pretty good number. And you know, if it ends up being a little more, a little less, we have money to cover it. So it isn't a question of money, but it's about 2,000 a pop to go, and it's like 3 days, and it's usually mostly.
It's an interesting event. It's fun. It's to see the mood of the country as far as all of this is concerned is enlightening.
The
It's a Thursday,
enthusiasm.
Friday, Saturday.
Thursday, Friday, Saturday. The mood, the enthusiasm was shocking to me. It was the first one that I had been to. I've been
Never been to
a
any,
million
so,
conferences,
yeah.
but to see one about Keep America Beautiful with 400 or 500 people at, and everybody enthusiastic about what they did. One woman was all over cigarette butts. It was her life, and she was collecting millions of them. So it was worth doing. It was great. We just enjoyed it. So I would say if you could send Chris and I a note, maybe by Monday, then we will make sure that we get that process going. Okay, because you have to register, you gotta pay. Everybody has to pay themselves up front.
Yeah.
Both the cost of the conference, which I think last year was $600, something like that.
Yeah.
And then the hotel, we gotta reserve flights. You take care of everything yourself, and then we reimburse you through an expense report process at the end.
Is there a email or something that we can look at to see the schedule of events
America
and just
Beautiful.
get up?
Go to
National
Keep America
Conference?
Beautiful National Conference,
Okay.
and everything is there. And the whole, I would love to have us present next year. Just something. If we accomplish this school thing, we accomplish the legislative thing, we accomplish something cool, we should present.
That's just plastics thing?
Yep,
Yeah,
plastics thing. There were
we
25.
walk around there with our heads up very high.
There were 25 people from South Carolina last year, which was good.
Yeah.
Well, we.
That's the offer, all right, for you and Victoria. I'm looking at Valentina and pointing at Jesus. I don't know if. Absolutely, it can't be our money.
No.
Can't be our money. It's just.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's.
Yeah, I pay for Beth. Yeah, yeah.
I couldn't really hear. Was there a question?
Sleep in the same room.
No, Ms. Howard was just explaining that the staff would have to go a different avenue to get travel requisition for the trip if they were to go.
Yes, since we have not budgeted for it this year, it wouldn't be feasible for staff to attend. That would be something that we could potentially look at as we're currently budgeting and planning for FY27.
Yeah, that'd be a good one.
I think it would be good.
Yep.
Okay, our responsibilities.
Do you have that one page in the deck?
I don't have it in the deck.
Okay,
I
so
have
there's.
it in your board packet though.
Okay,
I have it. I printed it out.
so would you just read the headlines, just so that people kind of orient?
Okay. This is our affiliate checklist. 1 is the annual reporting. 2 is payment of annual dues. 3 is participation in key programs, which is the Great American Cleanup. 3 is attendance at affiliate forums. 5, engagement in environmental excellence celebrations. 6 is conduct annual events. 7 is participation in training programs. 8 is submission of required documentation. 9 is adherence to KAB standards and guidelines. And then there's another whole section concerning President's Circle.
Yeah, I don't think we do the president circle. Maybe at some point.
We
Yeah.
do. We do.
Oh, we do.
Staff oversees, staff oversees all of the reporting requirements for KAB, and we have submitted all of those for this year.
Could we get a copy of that at some point, Victoria, please?
Yeah, absolutely. And you also should be able to log into the KAB account and see that as well in our profile.
Okay.
Thank you for doing that,
Okay, thank you for
Victoria.
that. Yep.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah, that would be one more reporting thing
Yeah,
that we don't think
you
about.
are the best.
Yep.
My
And
st-
Sally.
my staff. My staff. Thank you for the staff.
Love your staff. New board members search, how we do?
Yeah, I have a question. How do we know who's applied? Like, what does that process
Okay.
look like?
I spoke with boards and commissions yesterday. There is going to be a change up in how candidates will be vetted, looked at, interviewed, and selected for the county starting in 2026. More information on that to come, so stay tuned.
Okay.
Yeah, that'd be great.
We just adopted our new policy and rule book, and this is something that several of us have been pushing for years, that we actually interview as a council, or executive committee will interview candidates for any board positions. Municipalities already do that. I don't know why the county doesn't, but we're going to start doing that. So the executive committee will interview anybody who applies for any board or commission. I don't know that we have any on file right now for do we have something?
Should have 3.
Or do you know which districts they are?
I'm sorry.
I will find that out. for you in
Okay,
just a
because
minute.
I know when Carol passed away that she represented my district. Well, District 4. I've been trying. I think she's representing 2 districts at one time. But
I represent Bluffton, and yet I live in Hilton Head.
right.
At the
So
time,
I've
we
been,
didn't have one, so
yeah,
I was asked to.
I've been looking, but
Then
I've-
Diane Bogey represented another district. She didn't represent the district she lived
she
in.
didn't, but she's
Mhm.
still on.
No, she resigned.
She resigned.
Yeah,
Okay, so that's
because of
vacant.
health
So
reasons.
there's
There-
two vacancies. I
I know
know
there's
4.
4 vacancies.
4 vacant.
All right, we need to, and we will, well,
And there has been, I think, 3 applications. but-
okay, I can get that. Don't worry
Jessica
about it.
submitted 2, or facilitated 2, and I facilitated 1.
You know which districts they were? Okay, that's all right. I can find out. Well, we need to push for that, and we can do that through our public information that we need board
If we
members.
come up with somebody, do they look it up and how do they
You
apply?
can send it to our county clerk, and what they need to do is fill out the online application, which is very, you all know, it's very simple.
That's
You
okay.
can send them the link,
Yeah.
to the online application. Yeah. But I know my district needs someone, so.
Which district?
Part of the city of Beaufort, battery.
I think that's good that you're going to interview the potential.
Wondering which
people.
districts the people that have put in for, are they representing, or does it say?
That last one, I think, is.
No, I'm District 3.
Probably District 2.
Well, District 3, well, you are part of it.
Yeah, I'm too. I Newark Bluffers, yeah.
It does, St. Helena and you.
I have somebody in mind that lives more over off Sands Point area.
That's my,
That's your district.
But don't
That's my
worry
range.
about,
Don't worry about district.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and we don't act that way either.
Yeah.
Like, we don't work for our district.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Feel it all.
Any public comments? Anybody have a comment they'd like to make? I certainly have a comment. I would like to wish all of you a very Merry Christmas and thank you very much for all the work you do for us. I know sometimes it's probably trying at times, but
Just you, nothing
just
else.
you. But it would be very important to me that you all have a very lovely Merry Christmas.
And same to
Yeah.
you.
You will.
Right back at you.
Yeah.
And at that point, if there's nothing else, we will adjourn the meeting. Yeah, Thursday, just February 12th.
Here.
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 Yes, because you all
February
have a
12th.
workshop that
I
day.
got to write that down.
And I move that we adjourn.
Thank you.
Do we have a
Yes.
second? Okay, got it. I moved to we adjourn.
I'm
Second.
sorry.
Second.
Okay. All in
Favor?
favor?
All
Yep.
aye.
All right.
Okay,
Excellent.
Thanks. Thanks, everybody. Thanks, Gene.
Thank you.
Hold on.